Michael Chandler, he never gives up. Does he? Huh? Michael Chandler. Julianna Peña complains about the drug testing. And of course, as we all know, Kayla Harrison is obviously a drug sheet. I mean, you just go from a woman to looking like a man. Like, see, just look at pictures of Kayla Harrison. It's pretty obvious. So that makes sense. And also, some new fights. We got some Wonderboy news, Petr Yan. I'm gonna get to that. But, are you guys bored of McGregor Chandler? I mean, I think it's fun, right? Some news here. Of course, Chandler teased on social media, right? Insta, whatever. A few days ago. As we see on the screen, he wrote yeah, you see what he wrote. He seems to want Conor on like the Netflix debut in January or whatever. Or will UFC be on Netflix? Whatever. You guys, you understand. Let's listen to Iron Michael Chandler.
January 24th is my wife and I's anniversary, and it just so happens to be a Saturday. So I was like, that seems like let's throw that out there. Let's throw that out there. Let's speak it into existence. January, the turn of the new year. Probably a new some kind of new TV deal that these guys are working on. I don't know if you got some inside information, but I'm sure they're working on something. I get asked about it in over almost every single interview.
Like, like the thing is, I've never even been. I know some people like don't like Chandler at all. I have actually never been a guy that dislikes Chandler. like, like by this point, honestly, I just feel so bad. I feel sorry for Chandler. I mean, he just got whooped and finished by Paddy, who looks like a bitch. He got destroyed by Oliveira. He waited 2 years for McGregor and ruined his career. And he gets bullied online because of his black kids. So yes, Chandler, I'm sorry. Like for me, honestly, I give credit to Chandler for like trying to speak something into existence. Like, of course, a next logical matchup for him would be someone like Benoit Saint-Denis. I would watch the piss out of that. Of course, he could fight someone like Gamrot. But let's see here what Chandler says.
And rightfully so. The Conor Chandler thing just stays alive, right? It was just a couple weeks ago. All of a sudden, he said, you know, Iron Michael Chandler, unfinished business. You know, so it's not just the fact that we had the contract, that we were supposed to fight in June. We did the Ultimate Fighter. We have to finish the Ultimate Fighter. It's just like staying alive. So it's one of those deals where obviously I'm not losing sleep at night trying to get the Conor fight, wanting to get the Conor fight. If me and Conor are supposed.
Okay, fuck Chandler. I take back everything I just said. This guy just talks and talks and talks and talks. Jesus, dude. Come on. Like, honestly, comment down below. Do you guys still want to see Conor versus Chandler? Are you even interested to see Conor return to the UFC? I mean, if Conor returns, who do... Like, I would still love to see, like, Gaethje McGregor. Like, they have talked shit to each other for years. Do McGregor, Ilya Topuria, Conor Oliveira. Just have some fun, man. Have some fun. Yeah, comment down below. What do you think, yeah? Do you have anything else to say, Chandler?
Supposed to fight and he's supposed to come back. It's going to happen, and I don't need to force it. With that being said, if I'm a betting man, I'm not sure if he comes back. Do I want to fight him? Do I want to finish the Ultimate Fighter 31? Absolutely. So we'll see, man. All I know is I'm going to enjoy my family over the summertime, work on some big time business that I've been working on for the last couple weeks since the fight, and see how this whole thing unfolds.
Is that it? Chandler, I'm not gonna force it. Nah. If this isn't forcing it, like, what is, dude? Oh my god. Yeah, I wouldn't mind. Like, honestly, we haven't seen Conor fight for 4 years. Like by this point, like Chandler has looked. I mean, isn't it correct to say that Chandler in his last 2 fights have looked like much worse? Yeah, much worse than even Conor did. Like in his last few fights. I mean, of course, his last 4 fights in the UFC fought Habib. Of course, neutralized Habib for the first round. Tagged Habib up like a bitch, and in round 3 got the third round. Destroyed Cerrone. And I mean, he even tagged up, like, the thing with the Dustin fight was just Conor, like, he acted like it was a boxing fight. He talked about fighting Manny P, maybe even Floyd rematch. And I lost a lot of money on that fight. I'm still pissed. I still have a spot in my heart for Dustin that I wanna, take out. Anyway, I mean, he had some great combinations. Like, what was it he did? Like, on the side corner, boom, and then like he looked slick as fuck. But yeah, Dustin effed his leg up and started countering him. And of course, we didn't see much in the trilogy. But I mean, Conor came out looking like Conor. Who knows? But I mean, yeah, I think that's pretty obvious, right? If you just think about it. I know everyone like shits on Conor nowadays because he looked trash in his last few fights, but he really didn't look trash. Like, yeah, I mean, Chandler in his last 2 performances against Oliveira in the rematch and Paddy looked much worse than Conor. So, like, by this point, couldn't Conor just come in and just catch McGregor? Who knows? Let's move on. Julianna Peña. This is actually pretty interesting. We need something to get interested in the women's divisions. So, what does Peña have to say?
She would have been under USADA for like years, right? With her Olympic time, all that stuff. But now it's not USADA with the UFC anymore. With your experience since they made that change like a year or so ago now, is it less stringent?
The thing is, Peña sometimes, like, Julianna Peña has such a weird face. Is it just me? Like, like such a weird, I don't know, but like now, I remember in was it the press conference for the Nunes rematch, where she looked like a mamacita? And now I'm looking at her and like, MILF vibes. Like, I would hit, no.
Does it feel the exact same? How is this program now differed from USADA in your
I
experience?
feel like it's not that great. I felt more comfortable actually with those Icarus bottles, peeing into those Icarus bottles, than I do now. I mean, honestly, it's just this little plastic cup that you just barely flip the tab on, and it's like it would be so easy, you know. So I mean, I'm not saying I can only focus.
Isn't that pretty interesting, actually? Because, like, we all know, if you know anything about UFC for the last 10 years, like, all the trash UFC, the fighters, the fans have dealt with under USADA. Like, USADA didn't, like, for people that don't know, like, USADA worked for Dana White and the UFC. They were not like a corporation hired for like, whenever the UFC, when the UFC when USADA basically ruined UFC 200 and pulled Jones off the card because he, of course, tested positive for PEDs, drug shit, as we all know. So they destroyed 200. The UFC had to do something quick and had to bring in Brock Lesnar. And of course, he tested positive because obviously, look at him. But of course, nothing happened. He fought Mark Hunt. No one except like USADA and Dana and the UFC, I guess, knew about it. and after he just dominated Mark Hunt and won, like, I don't remember exactly if it was like a few weeks later, a few months later, but of course it came out that Brock had tested positive, and you know, he got suspended, and Mark Hunt of course sued the UFC. So a lot happened there, but so like the USADA learned very, very quickly that the UFC like, they basically, whether they liked it or not, worked for the UFC. And there's a reason why Usman, Adesanya never failed a drug test, even though Usman 110% maybe still is, who knows. But what is Usman? The only guy in UFC MMA history with elite 5-round championship cardio for 5 rounds, and like high knockout power that he developed late into his career. Like, honestly, name one other, like, you know, top of the food chain, 5-round great elite cardio and like 1 punch knockout power. Yeah. So yeah, and just look at his spots and his there's so, just look into the Usman stuff, and you know, and of course Adesanya grew a breast, so like it's pretty obvious. And of course they were like the biggest stars at the time. Adesanya, you know, peaked against Jan, sold 800k buys. Usman did like 700-800, you know, against Masvidal in the rematch. Colby rematch, of course he did like 1.23, something like that. The first fight against Masvidal. So yeah, USADA sucked, and the thing is, this new testing stuff, whatever it is, apparently isn't much better, which is very interesting. Credit to Peña for speaking the truth and just not, and just I mean, Peña could easily just, you know, walk around it and yeah, they are great, you know, and be good to the UFC and the company, but let's see.
Focus on myself, right?
Sure.
And I can
Yep.
only, you know, speak in I statements and what I know that I'm doing. But I don't like the way that the testing system is now. I think that it's a lot more lax than ever before.
Okay. The UFC is falling apart. Yeah, good on Peña for speaking the truth, I guess. Yeah, I mean, especially when you are fighting a man in Kayla Harrison. Like, one of the most obvious PD seats in MMA history, up there with Cyborg. And is she on it still? I don't know. I mean, I don't think it would help her much now to still be like on PDs, steroids, whatever you want to call it, especially when it comes to, you know, of course, she had to go down from, where did Kayla fight? 155? 140? Yeah, very high for a woman. And she went down all the way to 135. So it wouldn't help her at all to, you know, have a lot of big muscle. Of course you have, but I think Kayla has slimmed down. So is she on anything still? Of course you can be on EPO or whatever. Of course PDs doesn't mean become Brock Lesnar big. Yeah, so it's very interesting going into, you know, for Peña. She doesn't like the testing. She maybe she didn't say it here, but I know Peña said that she what is it? That she feels like it's very easy to, you know, cheat, just move around the new testing system. And if she feels that, and then she walking into the cage with Kayla Harrison, She-Hulk or whatever, not good. I mean, I hope Peña smacks her up with her striking. That's Julianna Peña against Nunes. What is this fight? And I had but a bit cinema. First of all, you know what I'm gonna do? I think Marcus Mcghee looks disgusting. So I'm gonna do like this. Nah, I'm just on, like, or maybe we do. Jan's face. You can look at that. That's fine. Look at that. Yeah, Marcus Mcghee looks disgusting. I mean, he's not a terrible fighter. Actually, if we look at the rankings, I believe Marcus Mcghee is number 13. So number 2 versus number 13. That's the retarded thing here. I don't understand. The thing is, why is UFC doing this all the time? I don't understand. Like, honestly, what is going on? As I said in my or is it, have I dropped the video? Anyway, like, okay, O'Malley's fighting Merab, it's fine, who cares? Petr Yan doesn't have a fight, Umar doesn't have a fight, Corey doesn't have a fight, he took no damage. Even Song Yadong, he's fighting Font, like, why not? Oh, okay, sorry. Yan and Song Yadong just fought. Don't listen to that. But as I said, Yan is not, no, what am I saying? Umar doesn't have a fight. Corey doesn't have a fight. Cejudo. I mean, so it feels like Umar, Corey, or Cejudo. Like, even like, couldn't Cruz like have stayed for a few months and just had his retirement fight against Petr Yan? And if Cruz got whooped, like, it's fine. Faber got whooped by Yan. No, but like, I believe Umar recently said, because of this fight, I think, that Umar is wanting to fight in October in Abu Dhabi, and of course, the inbreds always fight like once a year. Oh, I'm waiting to October, brother. Like, fight 2-3 times a year. You don't have to wait to October every time. Retards. I mean, Corey maybe too quick. Cejudo. Like, just those names. Yan versus Cejudo. Why is Yan fighting Marcus? It's not the main event, right? I think we can take this. It's not the main event, right? Is it? I don't think it's the main event. It's Abu Dhabi, okay. Who cares? Is it the main? No. Yeah, I don't know. Hopefully Petr Yan just smacks him up. Oh, he's so ugly and disgusting. I don't want to look at him. Hopefully Yan just pieces him up and moves on to someone that's actually deserving of fighting Petr Yan. Top of the food chain still, 2-fight win streak, was the champion. You can argue that he got robbed against both O'Malley and Sterling. Yeah. So the last one. I'm actually excited about this. And we could do the opposite here. Zoom in on Bonfim. He's handsome, right? No homo. Now I'm being John Jones, so I'm gonna stop. Wonderboy's back. I believe Bonfim is on a 2-fight win streak. Of course, he got, should we say, fraud checked against Nicholas Dalby. Hey, Nordic Viking. I believe, isn't Dalby from Denmark? Oh, Vikings, yeah. Vikings taking down the Browns. Mr. Brazil. No, but it's a good fight. Bonfim is a pretty exciting fighter, right? And Wonderboy, he hasn't fought in since he got flatlined back against Buckley, right? Wonderboy is on a pretty hard time. I mean, he went on a 2-fight win streak a few years back against Luke and Jeff Neal. Like, those fights really aged very well for Wonderboy, because Luke then went on to beat Woodley and Chiesa, and of course was deserving of a title shot, but he never got it. And Jeff Neal, of course, went on to, he beat Santiago Ponzinibbio, but then he, of course, he destroyed Luque, bam, brutal knockout, and, went to war with Shavkat and everything. Of course, Wonderboy then just boring fights. Got out-grappled for 2 decision losses against Burns and Belal. Came back a year later and fought. He wanted a striker, so he beat up Kevin Holland. Amazing performance. Like 40-year-old Wonderboy looked slick as fuck. Of course, then he was supposed to fight Michel Pereira, who missed weight. So he didn't fight for another year. Came back and actually had a good performance against Shavkat. I believe he did good in round 1, like tagged up Shavkat a bit and defended the takedowns good. But I believe Shavkat got him down in round 2 and submitted him. So that's not good. But yeah, so he's on a 2-fight losing streak against Shavkat and Shavkat and Buckley. Of course, he got flatlined by Buckley. Dude, Buckley just throw like a retard ball. Bam! Jesus, yeah. Who do I think? Yeah, I mean, I can predict now, can I? Hasbulla is coming in. I'm going with... Will Bonfim just take Wonderboy down? That would be so sad. I think actually I can see Wonderboy. I mean, didn't Dalby like outstrike Bonfim, tag him up and finish him? Yeah, I'm going Wonderboy. White boy summer, yeah, based Viking. Wonderboy, join the Viking clan. That's it. I feel bad for Chandler still. Jesus Christ. Peña is talking some facts about penis. And Peña is actually probably the bravest woman in the UFC, fighting a man. And yeah. Bye, boys.